from MEBW TV, but this is not MEBW TV. So we have friend of the channel and former internet and tag champion, Ken Havoc.
What's up, boys?
What's up with you, man?
I'm tired as hell.
I feel that.
It's like I wake up tired, but oh well.
Well, it is Sunday, so.
Yeah.
True. Like I woke up at like 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I've been fucking just sleeping all day, pretty much, till now.
I wish I could sleep all day.
So now I'm awake as fuck. Let's get right into this shit.
We are woke.
You're not
Hell
woke.
yeah.
I'm woke. You're not woke, Gary. You're tired.
Yeah, tired.
Old fucking man.
Well, since we got to here, we kind of got our boys, Dak Ryan and Tyler Green, and well, very briefly Tyler Green to talk about how he was having rough sex, and Johnny Blade, their experiences. So, my boy, what was your experience when we came down to Civil War?
My experience?
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool to meet some more guys and whatnot. I was just extremely tired that day because I think it was I had like 4 days off, so like I was able to have 3 days off for the Civil War shtick. Went to North Carolina for a show for a ref booking. Drove 4 hours by myself. I do not recommend that. That trip was ass. I wanted to die. Luckily, I had Damien ride with me back. But the thing is, I've only had 2 hours of sleep driving back to Georgia when y'all came over that day. Y'all were already there like 2 days earlier, wasn't y'all?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like a day or so.
That seems about right. Anyway, I was just extremely tired. And that's why I slept for 18 hours that day. After the Bull Run Rumble. It was like 4 o'clock. I'm like, is there anything else I got to do? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go lay down.
All right, so long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did sleep for fucking 18 hours, dude. That shit is crazy. We were watching, after we taped the Rumble, I remember you were on the couch, still passed out while we're all screaming in the house watching the fucking Rumble.
Yeah, we were all extremely loud, and the fact that you didn't wake up was Jesus.
He didn't make a peep at all.
Jesus.
I'm like I could sleep through anything, dude. Like there could be a tornado happening, and I won't even know it's fucking there.
Do you remember like waking up like any time during that 18 hours?
Like I felt like I could woke up, but I'm like I'm just too fucking tired that I'm not.
No, because I was.
I mean, I could hear y'all. Like, I could still hear y'all, but I just didn't give a shit.
Damn, dude.
I've heard car wrecks that were quieter than that room got. Like,
Yeah.
when you stick a bunch of wrestlers in one room and just let them go wild, you're asking for trouble. A lot of trouble.
Let them go buck wild.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I don't know how he would have handled having. We were probably gonna have what, like 5 extra people the last trip that got canceled.
Oh yeah, with TWE and all them.
Yeah.
God, that would have been a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, I don't. The cops probably would have got called a couple times more than they already did.
Nah.
Now, guys, was he asleep during Cat Hardy?
No, because I was there that he was asleep in. I think.
No, I
think
think y'all. Was it like recorded like 2 days before I showed up? Because I remember I showed up on a Saturday. Yeah.
I don't know. We were there.
I remember
Right?
he was there, and he left after Sunday, I think, or after Monday.
Yeah, I had Monday off, but like I left Monday as soon as y'all left or some shit.
I have the original video, so I can check and see what date we filmed that on. But honestly, it might have been.
I'm gonna say Sunday night. That Sunday night.
Yeah, I can see it.
That seems all right.
watching whose DVDs was that of? I think it was PWG DVDs, and we were watching that, and then
That was mine.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, you were there then.
I had all the wrestling. I had
Yeah.
all them TNA 05 DVDs. Them some bitches are goated.
and where the hell did you get those?
When TNA used to come, like TNA came like a couple times to my town in Huntsville, where we're lucky enough to actually be on TV and shit for that. One time I went in I want to say 2011. I think that's when Kurt Angle was still champ or some shit. You can get like a grab bag at the merchandise table, and then it'll have like 3 random DVDs from back in the day, and then like probably a T-shirt or something.
Oh, okay.
I got like half of them from there. Then my buddy T Franks, everyone should know him, Tyler Lee, all that. He got one, and me and him just have like different TNA DVDs, and they're badass as hell. And I got like majority of them up there at John's.
I wish I remember what was on the PWG card, because I remember there were some crazy matches on that one. Was one of the Lee Dijakovic ones
I
on there?
briefly do remember watching that, but I do not remember what it was.
I don't know if they had a match. No, I think it was Sabre Jr. versus Lee. I think, I don't know.
That might have been
Like
it.
that sounds about right, but like I really don't know. I know what the main event was. It was Chuck Taylor versus Ricochet for the PWG title in a Guerrilla Warfare.
That's interesting. Okay.
That was Ricochet's like last match before going to WWE.
Huh.
Like dead serious.
So that wasn't anywhere close to the Battle of Los Angeles, then, right?
No, that was Mystery Vortex. That's the show we watched.
Okay.
We had another match was on there was Flash Morgan Webster versus Joey Janela, and that match was actually pretty damn decent.
Man, I don't know how bad we traumatized them Waffle House workers, but we really messed all those Waffle House workers up.
Oh yeah, we were talking to Dak about that last week.
Poor lady.
I slept through all that.
You slept through the Waffle House trips?
No, I didn't even go to a Waffle House.
Oh.
I think I
Yeah.
went once, maybe. That's pushing it. No,
Damn.
no. 'cause
I'm pretty
remember when
sure
y'all went to-
Adams
I
and
think when
Green
y'all went
didn't
to
go one time.
Waffle House, I was asleep.
Yeah, you guys didn't. Yeah, you guys skipped down on one, didn't you?
Yeah, because
I just know I was there for the big one where there was the big table in the back. Then there was Richard Christian and whoever was in that group at the one table, and yeah, that's all I remember from that.
Yeah,
So
that was the second one.
I went once. How many times did everyone else go?
Twice, I believe.
Okay.
Twice, I think. Yeah.
I probably hung back one time.
Luke Hayes got the shits from Waffle House.
yeah, you got the Waffle House shits, and don't forget to mention about Tyler Adams' little experience.
Oh yeah. Me too.
Call back.
One person out of those two got Pepto-Bismol, the other didn't. Nobody bought Luke Hayes Pepto-Bismol. That's just fucked.
You hate to see it.
You know, that's what happens. Sometimes you got to shit your pants when you fight Dak Ryan and
Yeah, you
get hidden
hate
blood.
to see it, and you also hate to feel it. So yeah.
I hate that feeling. Good God.
Who knew Devil going down to Georgia was just a metaphor for having to take a shit?
Good God.
Oh, man.
You know, I got an opinion.
You got an opinion? Give it to me.
That Jack Delta and Kent Havoc were the worst tag team champions we've ever had.
Ouch.
Ooh.
Whoa, why are you a heel?
Why are you being such a dick?
They were
Well, I
just
can
they were
disprove
just
that
the
with one
worst.
statement.
Why are you talking?
I mean,
Adams,
right here in
Adams,
this
I don't like
damn
you, man, but
conversation,
do you
you gotta
remember
talk
do you
shit about me
remember
like
Kent
that?
Havoc's debut match in MEBW?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Thunder
yeah,
ass,
we
and I beat
remember
both
that.
you and Tyler Adams, so suck my cock.
God damn it. That shocked the shit out of me.
That did.
I knew it was happening, and it shocked the shit out of me.
Yeah.
We've
actually successfully defended the tag titles before. Sorry.
Oh,
We did.
I thought you were gonna. Didn't Steven and Gingy have the tag titles or something?
Oh, got you.
Yeah, that's the worst tag team
Yeah,
we've ever
yeah,
had.
you're
is
right.
Young and Gingy.
They didn't. I don't even think they made
But-
one appearance besides Mania, where they vacated them.
Oh,
Damn.
yeah.
That like pre or not even pre that like any match before you and Storm at Mania 2 is just like ancient history because I was
Yeah.
never there. So it took me like a year to find out that Steven and Gingy won or vacated the titles at Mania.
Yeah, you didn't
And I was
even
like, what?
you didn't even know Joe Erebus had a match on Mania too.
Yeah, that was funny as hell. We did like a mini interview for Backyard Mania 3, which I posted on the Patreon. I'm talking to Erebus and I'm like, so is this your first match at Mania? And he's like, I was at Backyard Mania 2. And I was like, what? What the fuck?
You need to keep up with the
My
product.
It was the last two matches.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, Mania 2 was his
Hey.
first match, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, too was our first attempt to get him over too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Broken Dreams gimmick.
Oof.
Hey, I know that gimmick.
Yeah, I know that gimmick too.
Yes, we know you. No, Dog Man.
Oh, yeah, Dog Man. We don't talk about
Who?
Dog Man.
It's some old deep lore that we'll probably get into archive eventually.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. That's that old deep HWW lore.
Yeah,
Man.
HWW is where I started, but Ken Havoc, didn't you start in BSW?
Yes, nice for
How
the
did
segue.
that all start, man?
Nice, thanks for the segue because I was just about to say something about it. How DSW started? It was, I can't remember how it was. We were hanging out at our history teacher's house. Yes, because we used to watch all wrestling pay-per-views and shit at his house. Buddy of ours was talking, Rhett Ryder, and he YouTube channel and what fucking not for wrestling. And then we're like, yeah, maybe. Because at the time, me, Hunter X, Tyler Lee were thinking about that, but we didn't have pretty much a roster to start with. But then we started getting Rhett Ryder and Jared the Giant, Mike Crane, Samuel Clowney. We got all of them on board, and rest was history, really. Can't remember really when we started recording, like our tapings and whatnot, but I think that's like pretty much how the gist of it started.
Now, how do you guys say who was like who was your first world champion that you guys would, recognize? How do you guys recognize that?
Oh, it's easy. First world champion of ours was Tyler Lee.
Damn, I thought it was going to be Hunter X. That surprised me.
No, it was Tyler Lee. We did stuff before doing stuff on YouTube. Like it was our little fake, not really shit between us, really, just to pop us. Like I was a couple-time world champion, so was Hunter, but Tyler didn't get it yet. So we're like, okay, we'll let Tyler have it, like legitly on YouTube. And we had a little tournament. Me and him was in the finals at our first internet special. That's what we called them. It was me and him for the world title. I got hit with the light tube for the finish, and that shit sucked.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Like I got pictures and shit. I'll probably send them later.
Send them to me.
Now, at this point, when all this is going on, do you guys know the TBW guys yet, or no?
No. This is when we first started. Really.
Okay.
We didn't know them until like when did we start DSW? I want to say, God, I think we started early 2018 for DSW. I think.
Okay.
That seems about right. I'd have to go back in the archives and fucking look at the video. But yeah, basically that.
So you guys kind of have a parallel story to us in the way that, like, the first time you met them was at that crossover, right? And that's the same way we did with EBW. Am I right about that?
Yes. I remember Zach messaging me or he commented on a video of mine or some shit saying, "Hey, we just got done recording a crossover with EBW. Check it out whenever it gets uploaded." I'm like, "Okay, sure." And that's pretty much the first I heard of. I pretty much heard of y'all, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure Jack Delta has a story of like seeing DSW a long ass time ago.
Oh yeah.
This happens every time we go to crossover with somebody. Like right before we start talking to him, pops up in my recommendations. And I remember seeing Hunter X with the old DSW world title and just like a bunch of your alumni in this match. I forget what it was. It was super early on though.
Which match you talking about?
I don't know. It was early. It was like episode 2 or 3 or something.
Fuck, my memory gets hazy right there.
I remember
Exactly.
I remember seeing Samuel Clowney's like sister slapping the shit out of someone.
Yeah, that was
That shit
her
popped.
slapping the shit out of Hunt. Because they had their first feud going into Golden Glory, and pretty much Lacey, Sam's sister, was his manager. So we just said, you know what? Why not? Like, add her into the story because we fucking can. I mean,
Having your sister be your manager.
yeah, but what's funny, later on down the line, it was like until like after it was at Wrestle War, she turned on Sam in Sam's match with Jerry in a Last Man Standing. Sam dies at that event.
Dies.
Like JT or Jerry the Giant, or short for JT, that's his initials, that his real name is. He had him on the outside. Sam was in the ring and he was about to do a top rope plancha. And I'm thinking, Sam, this is not a bright idea to do it. And he wanted to do it anyway. So he hits the ropes, he comes back, he flails in the air, and JT moves out of the way, and Sam lands flat on his fucking back on the ground. We're all in the shed because we have a crowd at this event. We have like maybe 20 people, maybe, and we're like, and then someone comes rushing to the shed because we're all in the gorilla because we're not gonna go out and mingle with the fans. I'm keeping kayfabe alive, but someone said, I think it was Zach Fury. We had a Zach Fury back in the day. Just deal with it. We didn't know. And he says, "Yo, Sam's hurt." And I'm like, "What?" Like, Sam's hurt. JT didn't catch him. He just dropped him. I'm like, "Oh, shit. Here we go. First time having a crowd. We're going to have somebody fucking hurt." That's what I needed. And then I was just looking at Sam on the ground. I'm like, "Oh, he's fucking selling." Like, I know that fucking hurt, but like he's gonna be okay. Shit. And then he goes and does it again.
Oh my.
And JT barely catches him the second time.
Damn.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I'm like,
So he was
God.
selling.
And I'm like, God damn. I'm like, and yeah, JT ended up winning the international title that show, which
Now
at the time, good booking decision. Later on down the road, not at all.
at that show, what are you guys wrestling on at that point? Are you guys wrestling on like in a ring or in a like makeshift ring, or what are you guys wrestling in at that time? Because you said he hits the ropes.
We were wrestling in a tramper ring. Like, we had the 4 wooden posts around, and then we had the ropes and whatnot. Our ropes were ass. Like, they were terrible.
That's usually how it is with the trampoline ring.
But as soon as we went over to TBW's, their ropes were phenomenal. Like, they were tight as shit. We can actually go up. I actually went to the top rope for the first time in the yard and actually did shit.
Wow.
In your match against Dak, right?
Yes. Like, that's the
that
very
match
first
is fucking
time.
awesome.
Yeah, that match was goated. I really enjoyed that match. And then, sadly, I about permanently blinded Dak.
Yeah, I remember that story. Light tube, right?
Like, Say what?
Light tube, right?
Yeah, like he didn't know until like a couple days later. He was rubbing his eye really bad, and then like he had to go to the doctor. The doctor said, if you kept rubbing your eye anymore, you probably would have been blinded in that eye." And I'm like, "Fuck, I feel like the biggest piece of shit right now." And then Dak's like, "Nah, don't worry about it. It's fucking wrestling." I'm like, "Yeah, true, but still."
Shit.
So what? He had the fluorescent in his eye, or what?
Yeah, he had like a small piece of the glass in his eye because like I busted it over his head. Weird thing is, he didn't get no cut on the top of his head or anything. The only thing that got busted open on him was his nose. And he had glass in his hands. That's the only thing.
Right. For me, it was always either glass in my hands or in my back. But when it was busted over my head, it was so clean and fast it never really cut me on my head. I only ever remember my back and my arms and my hand getting cut up. Like, you know, when I ruptured an artery in my hand, and I know,
Ooh.
but that's about the worst I've ever done with a light tube. And then that was pretty much just my whole left arm covered in blood. But other than that, I've never like been busted open on a face unless I either bladed or fake blooded back then. So.
Oh, that made me cringe a little. Holy shit.
Yeah,
on my left hand, I've got a little Nike check mark that shows me exactly where I busted my artery open, and it'll be there for the rest of my life. So,
you should just like get a tattoo of the Nike like logo.
Yes,
right up. Yeah,
that'd be funny.
Yeah, that'd be fucking hilarious.
X marks the spot. Yeah.
Then pimp slack a motherfucker with it.
Yeah.
So since we're all here, and we've all had matches against one Kent Havoc on your run up here, why don't you go a little bit into your run and how you felt about that here? 'Cause I know we had a good time personally.
I enjoyed it so much because one, I'm flying to a different state. Like, that's pretty fucking cool. And I enjoyed coming up to Michigan. It was cold as fuck.
Yes, it was. As it always is.
I was wearing a cut-off shirt and my jacket, but my jacket was thick, so I was okay. But I had it off because I was burning the fuck up in the damn airport. And I walk outside for a split second, and then it rushed past me. I'm like, nope, I'm going back inside. It's fucking cold.
Yep. That's how it is.
I remember it was like 9 o'clock. I messaged you, CEO, saying where were y'all at, and y'all were like running a little late because Thunder's always late.
Hey, fuck you.
And I said, okay, I'm probably gonna grab a drink, and then I forgot that it's 9 o'clock in the morning in Michigan, and I'm like, you know what? I just said I'm gonna grab a drink. I don't think that's gonna fly right now.
And it didn't.
And it didn't. No, I didn't, because I already walked out of the area where the food and shit were being served. Like, I already walked out through the metal detectors and bullshit. I'm like, okay, I don't think I can go back in. So I'm just sit here and chill, and I end up watching Disney Plus until y'all showed up.
Yeah, because you came by, like, Disney Plus was fairly new when you came out and had your run. It's probably only a couple weeks old.
Yeah, but a couple weeks in, people were already like, that was one of their peak times of expansion is that, because I mean the first couple weeks, and they're already advertising what movies and shows they got on there, and people were buying that shit up. So
yeah,
were you watching Power Rangers?
Yeah, for when you that's not on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's not, well,
that's on Netflix.
Well, Disney does own it though.
They did for a bit, but it's Nickelodeon now.
Really?
Yeah, they sold it. Samurai was the first Nickelodeon season back. RPM was the last Disney season.
Hated Samurai.
Yeah. It's something.
Hated it. Hated it.
Yeah.
Sucked.
Them dark times.
You heard it here first here, folks. Can't have it. Hates fucking Power Rangers Samurai because it sucks.
I've never really watched Power Rangers.
Was actually pretty damn decent.
some. There's so much.
I remember seeing
There's
like
so
the
much.
live action one from like my
I just
childhood.
had a
But
lot.
So, Kent Havoc, it was you had a lot of matches up here. What was it like working with everyone, and like explain experiences from all those matches?
All the matches I had was fantastic. I was able to work with everybody. Um, I can't believe I did a total of 10 matches in 2 days.
yeah, something like that.
You got put on the max schedule.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like I was like, God damn, I gotta do 10 matches in 2 days, and I'm like, that's the one thing I hate about doing backyard wrestling is because when we do tapings, you're doing multiple matches in a row, and you're tired as shit.
If you come up to MEBW, be expected to fucking work, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's why I said we put him on the max schedule because Max had to do the same thing, and
Like I haven't done that. Like I haven't done that since DSW.
Damn.
Like I haven't tapings like
That's-
that since DSW. Like, and it reminded me of that. Working with everybody's great. Y'all, I think y'all have heard me before. I really never liked doing tag matches in the yard because they were always. Because sometimes they would end up always getting sloppy for me. Because that was just my experience with them in DSW. We just did them for filler and for storyline reasons. But tag matches were a hassle. As soon as I went to TBW and we had the opening tag, or we had the main event tag match, it was me and Isaiah versus Tyler Green and Hunter X.
I remember that match.
That tag match was actually really fucking good. Besides some little stuff, but that match was actually really good for what it was.
right.
Tag match, me and Delta versus Fury and King. I liked it. I wish we were able to do a little bit more stuff in both tag matches. But I had fun with them. I think I ended up hurting my fucking shoulder with Fury.
Yeah, Tope.
Yep.
It was
Yeah.
James on it. Okay.
We should have
Yep, I remember
switched
that.
it to where I was catching Xavier and Delta was catching James because
I thought that's what they usually do.
Yeah,
It was just
they
I don't know why they
switched it up
switched
for
it.
some reason. And that kind of messed a couple people up.
yeah, like because James, as soon as he dove, he was already going to the ground, so I had to get up underneath and roll him back to make sure he lands on his fucking feet.
Yeah, he's quick with those, and sometimes he doesn't air. Okay, he airs out and he gets height on him, and I know that's one of his things is to get height on a tope. But like he's really quick with them, and it's really for him. He just really puts his dive out there, and you've got to get under him. He's slippery with his topes. I feel very pressured to get right under him when he's doing a tope.
Yeah,
So,
and
I know what you mean.
all of his weight just kind of landed on my like left shoulder. I wasn't starting to have problems with it until like after the match, and I was just like chilling, just working it. And Tommy's like, "You good?" I'm like, "Yeah, fucking shoulder's killing me. I'll be okay though."
Oh my god, that's why when I take topes, right after I catch them, I fall into a back bump and I let them glide their energy through me and kind of do that. But even sometimes that can still end up with someone landing on your shoulder. I mean, you know, as you were saying earlier, what Dak said, he said it best. It's wrestling. It happens. So
yeah. During my match with Dakota, his dive, like he's like, you know, you can how to catch. And I'm like, yeah, because basically what you want to do when you catch somebody, if they're going for like a plancha from the top or something, in that shoulder area, like right here where your arm is, or like I catch them on people on my right side.
Yeah, same.
Where my shoulder is and connects with my arm. Basically, I want their back landing in that crevice so that way I can get a hold of them and like guide them down to where I'll take the bump and I can get them landing on their feet without them hurting themselves.
Exactly.
Did that with Dak, it was pretty big.
Now, a segue from you getting hurt in your matches, I've always had a question to ask you, and I never fully got to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
And now all wrestling hurts. That's something I want to just put out there.
Yes.
Pro wrestling, backyard wrestling, everything hurts.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one thing in mine in your match, and that this was the one thing that hurt you. I think everything else was like silky smooth. But I went for my rolling Death Valley driver.
Yeah.
And where did I land most of my weight? Because my weight didn't shift correctly on that move for some reason. It was one of the few times I'd done it on the ground, but I'd done it in the ring in Georgia, so I was pretty confident. And then I hit you, and then you can audibly hear in the video you going, "Oh, that fucking sucked." So, so what happened there? Because I don't even know really how that felt to you and what happened with that. So
I really have no idea. Yeah, like, to be honest, I really have no idea, to be honest. I just know getting picked up for the Death Valley, and I got hit with it, and I went, because back is, let's just put it out. I just figured out a reason why my back was fucking killing me, but I'll get on that in a little bit. Yeah, that and getting squished by James Fury with that splash. Them were the two things that hurt me.
Oh, that splash was devastating.
Yeah, I remember that splash.
Brutal. He knocked the wind out of me. He said it was supposed to be a headbutt. That motherfucker was not a headbutt.
You know what I'm thinking is, now that I think about it, with that Death Valley driver, I think what might have happened, because usually I don't land my weight on people. I usually just take the cartwheel. They take the back bump. I think it was something on the drop itself that might have messed up the momentum, because I like I said, I usually take the cartwheel, and I don't really like. I take a mini cartwheel on my fists and I kind of roll over. But that time I kind of just like, I kind of landed all my mass in one area, and I think that was like your stomach and back, and it was like just kind of like flattened in. I think that's what happened. But I mean, that's a tough one to call. It's just one of those freak things where you're like, what the fuck even happened on that one, you know? So
yeah, like we said, shit happens. But it popped the fuck out of my back. That's for damn.
Well,
I'm getting old as shit.
That's how it be. We're the old ones. We just gotta stick around, keep hobbling.
Good lord.
Says the 21-year-olds.
Yeah, it's sad. I am 21 years old. Like I'm moving around like a 40-year-old man. Like, it's pitiful.
That's how it be. Yep. I feel that. So, I have a burning question for you, my man. What was the best thing you ate while you were up here?
Ooh. I gotta go with fucking Jets, dude.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna say Jets.
Best
You're
pizza
damn right.
I ate in my entire life. I got me and Delta both a pizza. I can't remember what all we got on. I think I got like mushrooms and bacon or some shit. I don't know what he got. We got a 2-liter, and then we got. Didn't we get like breadsticks or some shit?
Yeah, I think we got
and
breadsticks
me and
too.
him fucking devoured both of them pizzas.
Oh my
Instantly.
god, it was fucking awesome.
Also, another fun fact. I think it was earlier that morning because like, I'm gonna let everybody know. I wake up I wake up early every morning. Like that's just how I am. Because of my shoot job. Woke up, went outside to chill, and then I'm just sitting outside chilling, and then I see a black object run across the street, and I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" It's furry as fuck, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, "It's a fucking squirrel," and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, I'm legit freaking the fuck out. I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" And then after I see it run across the street, I see another one in the yard. I'm like, "There's 2 of them. What the fuck?" I'm like, "This is not normal." I'm like, "Huh?" And then,
so are all your guys' squirrels down there brown or what?
yes. Yeah.
Oh my god.
You couldn't even tell it was a squirrel just by the way it looked.
No, like originally, I just saw it was like a black furry animal, and I'm like, "Huh?" And I'm like, I'm trying to comprehend. I'm like, and then it got closer, and I'm like, "Oh, it's a fucking squirrel." I'm like, "Why is it black? I've never seen one black before." Like being dead honest.
Damn, that's fucking crazy, actually.
And then I think it was James, like one of the next days, he was saying, he was like, dude, have you seen a white squirrel with a pink eyes? I'm like, yes, we've seen albino squirrels. Them are more rare than this piece of shit.
I don't know. It never occurred to me that black squirrels
Yeah.
reached a rare squirrel.
I've never seen one until that weekend, until them 4 days I stayed. Like, I didn't.
Well, we're gonna bring one down to Georgia next time. So.
Yeah, we're gonna
No,
ruin
don't
the
do that.
biodiversity. Hopefully, it eats all those goddamn crackhead bugs.
Someone on a video just recently pointed out a squirrel behind your head in a promo, Adam. I forget who. I forget who pointed it out. I think it might have been Crazy L.
That is the funniest shit when they're.
I think it was
Crazy
Crazy
so many matches where there's a squirrel running on a power line.
Yes.
And it's just like, it's so funny.
Yeah.
You know, one of the best background interference ones we've had is the neighbors behind you with the motor or the old people scooters.
They just came out
mobility
and
scooters. Yeah, they just like drive their mobility scooters on their grass in their backyard and just stare. And it's like, what is
I've got to
this?
disagree.
What do I do with
think
this?
There's one bigger interruption to
This
our
might be
broadcast, but I'm gonna let Thunder talk. So go ahead.
I remember one day early MEBW, we were taping a tag match. It was I think it was Storm and Adams when they were part of the Gun Club, versus like Stephen Young and Jordan Blade, and my neighbors were out like probably like 2 streets like away, or not 2 streets away, 2 houses away, and I just screamed, "Subscribe to our YouTube channel," and said our name, like really fucking loud.
Yeah, no, that's not the one I'm talking about. The one I'm talking about, you'll remember when I say it. This is when we were still taping at Mr. Gunn's house, and so we're gonna shoot this out there for the one person on the planet who doesn't get it by now. Our wrestlers do the commentary, and Chris Storm was on commentary, and I forget. I think it's a fatal 4-way. It's me, James, and I forget who else. I think Zach's in there, and somebody in the yard behind Tommy starts up a loud power saw and starts sawing into wood. And Chris Storm yells loud as hell over the fence. He yells, "Hey, asshole, shut the fuck up." And the guy stops sawing whatever he's sawing. And I swear, to hold it together like I did in that match, I was proud of myself because I'm like, I should be crying right now, like, of laughter. I should be dying right now, but I'm still just wrestling. Like, I don't.
Chris Storm on commentary is one of the funniest fucking things ever.
Oh my god! Yeah, he doesn't care. The amount of times I've listened to Chris Storm commentate, and he's like, "I gotta go fuck off." It's like, what?
That was like Boggs on commentary with Tyler. Like,
yeah, where they would just throw a glove in the middle of the fucking match.
Yeah, like
and then Thunder, I've got a good one of you on commentary too. I was watching yesterday. I was watching some older stuff of it was a James Fury match, and I forget who he's wrestling, but this is when he was like, doing his thing where he talked shit to the commentator.
Oh my god!
He said something, and you started fighting back.
It was probably
like,
going rogue against Joe Erebus.
He's like, hey, you need to do your job, and you're like, hey, shut the fuck up. And then he got we've got.
Another legendary commentary moment was the classic James Fury "fuck you," where Thunder just responds, "Oh,
fuck you."
Oh, yeah, and then that clip went fucking viral.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I know a story about that. Clip.
Yeah, it was
Remember
funny.
when we were at XICW? We brought James. It was the weekend that clip went viral, and 2 of the wrestlers seen it. And James walks up to him in the parking lot and just says, "Fuck you."
Yeah, he didn't press it that he was the guy from the video. He just walked up and said, "Fuck you."
Good God.
I'm pretty sure the guy said like,
I was like,
"Excuse me," or something like that. And then the other guy noticed him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he almost got punched in the face.
Yeah, that's what you're not supposed to do.
No, they played it off pretty nice, since at this time all they know about us is that we're fans. They're not, they're not too strong on that. They're like, oh, okay, that I get it now. So it was they were cool about it, but they almost were not cool about it, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
yeah.
No, completely.
What I'm thinking, since we're talking about commentary and all this, that's another thing we need to do for the fans since we're on this break and everything, is try and create a compilation of commentary moments, because I feel like that would just drive.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I already know one I would put in.
Yeah, if a couple people haven't figured it out, it's primarily me and Thunder.
Yeah, I'll be in there once in a while.
Tommy.
But usually I always tell people I want someone to lead, because I'm just not a lead commentator. I can do color, but not lead. But one of the ones I did, it was me and Delta at the Halloween special that we did, and it was Lenny the Leopard versus Matt Thunder, and we had the spider webs. That set was really good. That worked out really well for that gimmick. But Lenny was tied up in the spider webs, and I go, Lenny the Leopard looks like he just escaped a bukkake session, and
you can hear Tommy laughing. Play the clip, monkeys.
Yeah, I've got Tommy to laugh on the screen. Yeah, play the clip, monkeys.
He's fighting the damn webs.
It's turned on him.
The spider webs have turned heel. He's gonna cover him.
Lenny the Leopard looks like he just escaped a bukkake session.
I've got Tommy to laugh on screen a couple times. Another time I was speaking with our Mexican referee friend, Los Diego. We were talking about Star Wars, which led for him to have Star Wars fresh in his brain. So Tommy Gunn, I believe, called Los Diego Jar Jar Binks. To which Los Diego responded, "You saw in big doo doo Jar Jar."
I'm pretty sure Tommy walked into like the shed to hold off his laughter.
Yeah, Diego broke him.
God damn it. That's funny as shit.
You know what? One of the other things we would have to put into a best commentary video, and I don't know if you guys would count this, but when Matt Thunder was a special guest on commentary, Fatal 4-Way.
Oh my God!
Fuck. And this is a video I think anyone who's ever watched MEBW or been involved with any MEBW, even you, Kent Havoc, or anybody, I think everybody should watch this, or at least get a part of it if you haven't seen it already. Matt Thunder is the special guest on commentary. It's me, Chris Storm, Tommy Gunn, and who else in the match?
Delta.
Jack Delta, yeah. Okay, yeah. So all four of us are in the match, and Matt Thunder is just picking us apart for the whole match and saying how he hates all of us and that we all fucking suck. And like it the way he does it, and in the funny things that he says, it's a crime to not see it if you're an MEBW fan. So if you can't find something to do during quarantine, please go watch that, not for the match, but for the commentary.
Link in bio, man.
I literally can't even. If you did a try not to laugh thing and you played that, I would instantly just tell you to turn it off, because that's it. That's it.
And I mean, try not to laugh would be bad, because it's always stuff that pops us. Right. So it's just going to kill us.
Do you have any good like commentary stories from either DSW or TBW that are really memorable to you?
All the ones I always got shitted on in DSW on commentary, just because mostly the people that did commentary for DSW was Tyler Lee and Hunter X, and they would always shit talk the hell out of me and whatnot. One episode, we were doing it was me and Johnny Blade doing commentary for Night of Kings 3. We did commentary for the opening match, which was Isaiah versus Samuel Clowney.
Yep.
We were talking about the match, and I end up saying something. He's just trying to wear down the clown down or some shit. That's what I said. And then Johnny was like, "Wear down the, what did you just say?" And I'm like, "Yes, exactly." It was like and then later it was like the next couple. It was like when Hunter and Tyler started tagging in the indies. Their tag finish, they started calling it the "wear down the clown down."
Oh wow,
jeez!
But they end up changing it because they got their whole Mountain Dew gimmick bullshit going on right now.
Gotcha.
But it was funny as shit because John was just confused as hell. He's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yes."
Yes, you firmly defended your stance.
Yes, I did. It was pretty funny.
Now with TBW, like before you guys were like before you guys finished everything up with that, how did everything go with? So we know how, roughly how DSW and TBW came about. How did you guys get the NTW guys involved? Isaiah and obviously Damien.
That wasn't on my part. That was actually on Dakota's part.
Oh, okay, so he kind of pulled more of the strings for that one, or
Yeah,
what?
he pulled more of the strings for that one because, fudge. Yeah, because he talked to Isaiah and then more. I talked to Isaiah a little bit, not a lot, but it was mostly him and Dakota talking, and they came down. We all got to meet like legitly in person when we did the tapings for Night of Kings 3. That's when we fully, because everybody showed up that Friday night, everyone talking, mingling, and then the next 2 days is when we did the tapings and whatnot for Night of Kings 3.
Right.
No.
Because I remember when you guys like you knew who Isaiah was and everything, but I remember when he was first attempting the Phoenix Cutter on his trampoline, and for some reason, like weirdly enough, it's one of those weird memories. I have memories of him posting a video of it on Twitter, and he was on Twitter and he posted a video of him doing his first couple attempts at the Phoenix Cutter, and then to go from there to where he is now so quickly, that was pretty crazy to me, at least. Because by the time we get down there for Civil War, he's already had pro matches at this point. And I'm like, wow, like this has gone, like he is rose up rapidly.
Oh,
So
oh yeah, Zay's doing fantastic. Him, Damien, John, Tyler, and all them, they're doing great. Even though this Corona bullshit is kind of hampering that a little bit.
And we were talking to Dak about this last week a little bit, I think. I don't know if it was before we went on air or when we went on the air, but Dooley's doing pretty good as well.
Oh yeah, he's getting there. He's got a gimmick going on in New South. He's doing great. Just some other stuff that needs to be polished. Like I ain't got room to talk, but like I mean, there's shit I got to do that needs to be probably a little bit better.
Of course.
I mean, everybody's got room.
Everybody.
If you think you're perfect, then you're definitely
That's
not.
when you need your ego checked.
Yeah, if you're the first one to realize that you're perfect, you might not be. I don't know.
Nobody's perfect.
Right, exactly. So if you're coming out as the first person to recognize it, you're probably far from it. It's one of those ego driven things, and everybody's got one. But I mean, control it responsibly. But yeah, that's everybody before this Corona shit. It seemed like everybody was kind of getting where they were going, and I was really proud of everybody down there, Zay, Dooley, all of them, because they're really getting experience more than anything.
Yes, especially me. Like I was hitting my fucking stride for refereeing.
Right.
We had our Hoss tournament night 1 and night 2 on IWTV, and night 2 was the number one thing trending that night. Like we had the primetime spot.
Wow.
Night 2 had the primetime spot. We had Blake Christian at the show. We had AR Fox, Matt Horner, Hallow Wicked, Kurt Stallion. I mean, we had a banger of a Hoss tournament. Anybody go to night 2 and watch the Talladega Knights versus the Wasted Generation for the New South titles. I guarantee you that is one of the best tag matches you will ever see this day and age on the independent scene. I'm being dead serious.
Now, is that on a YouTube channel or what?
No, IWTV, it's its own streaming service. It's its own wrestling streaming service. You'll be able to see stuff from like GCW or Jakara Pro.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So some Matt DeMorris stuff on there too.
Yes, because Matt DeMorris, he's on Jakara. He does the arcade, I think. The arcade one. And you got Beyond, you got Defy, like you got all these other big indie promotions. That's
MLW or no?
I don't think MLW. SUP, that's another one. SUP, it's Southern Underground Pro Wrestling. They are stationed out of Nashville, and I was lucky enough to be on their last show before this whole bullshit started shutting all the wrestling shows down.
So they're not able to open with the wrestling shows. You might know this more than I do. Is Chikara still able to run shows or no?
probably what all they have is stuff that they already recorded. That's what everyone's doing on IWTV right now. All their stuff that they had, I guess, in their archives, they're putting it out there.
Oh, okay, and they're just kind of waiting for everything to hopefully come and go.
I mean, they're still putting out streaming stuff for people to watch. It's just older content.
Right.
Along with that, also IWA Mid South is on there, and
Oh, so you can catch a lot of that stuff.
that company is goated because back in the day, they had a lot of names there. I mean, they had a lot. They've had Punk, Joe, I can't remember the rest of them, but like I think they had Homicide, but like they used to be big back in the day, and lucky enough, Tyler Franks and Hunter X were able to get on a tryout match there, and they tore the fucking house down.
Yeah, you guys, that's the other thing that I'm impressed with. Not just the amount of bookings that a lot of you guys have had down there, but the notable companies that you guys have wrestled for. That's insane.
And how many different
Oh, yeah,
states
that's it.
you
I've
guys
only
have gone to?
Tyler and Hunter, they've been to more. I think they've been to about 5 or 6 states to wrestle. Yeah, I've only been to like maybe 2, 3, 4, give or most.
But still, for where you guys are at and when you got trained, that's still a very big accomplishment. When you guys are, some of you guys are 1 or 2 years into training and you're already working these very notable companies and getting tryouts like that. That's showing that you guys are doing something right, and that's cool to see. So.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. I'm proud of where I've come. I'm just ready for this shit to get back up so I can continue my referee work and get noticed more.
There you go.
Yeah, I can't wait till this is done. We can actually go back to taping.
One day, man.
That's gonna be fun.
Keep fucking extending.
Eventually.
Hopefully, because I'd keep it on the down. Keep it. I kind of actually want to come back up there maybe for one more go if I can get my band lifted somehow. Because Tommy's being an ass.
I mean, yeah, I have some choice words on that whole situation. I'm not too happy with that one.
Just
Yeah,
come up
and
here and
then
show
start
something.
running.
Just do it.
Yeah, that'd be the day. Be walking into his office, changing everything, putting fucking camo shades and everything everywhere around the damn building.
Are we gonna hire a new referee or keep Los Diego?
Oh, we're keeping Los Diego, and he's gonna get paid more because he deserves it.
Dude, he's like missing right now.
What?
Yeah.
He's MIA.
Yeah, Los Diego's on the missing list.
Haven't heard
Yeah, we don't know where he went. Like one night, he was just cleaning up. The rest of us were just kind of doing our own thing because we set up because he was late, of course, on a drunk binger. So we made him shut down, and now he's gone. I don't know where he went. The ref face, we had to like call in his cousin ref face just to hold his spot.
Catarino sometimes.
So I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, Chatarino's all right.
Yeah, he's just kind of there. Like, I don't think he ever goes home.
Chatarino?
I think he just always is there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen him leave.
I legitimately don't think I've ever seen him leave. He's usually just
We
like,
found him under 696, right?
Man,
I think
he
so.
does stay though.
If I
He's
remember
kind of a workhorse. We gotta appreciate him for that.
He gets a pay raise as soon as I kill Tommy.
Yeah.
You hear that, Tommy? I want your job.
My face doesn't get one though. He doesn't get one.
Ken Havoc, do a shoot on Tommy Gun right now.
Oh boy.
And how you want your job back.
I thought it was bullshit because you got all this fucking power and you think you can run me? Fuck no, motherfucker. I'll come up there next time and whoop your candy ass.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Stomp a mud hole in your ass and walk it dry, Tommy. How about this? I'll make you come out of fucking retirement just to deal with me. Yeah, I know. That's a long shot. But
Good luck on that one.
As long as I keep pissing him. Just push his buttons. That'll work.
I mean, who knows? He could piss off the wrong outlaw.
Yeah, maybe. You never know.
Hopefully.
We might need his ass kicked.
And that is where Tyler Adams calls in on his regime regulatories and calls off that day. So.
Yep, stay at home while whip
Yep.
your boss's ass.
I gotta hope he fights back.
And you can keep up.
It's
Well,
okay.
he's-
He'll probably
Owen's-
throw Owen at him first, and then
Oh, I've got a good one. When did you decide that you were going to give the international title to J&A, and how did that process go about? I don't think Luke Hayes was originally supposed to, or was he? Was he supposed to be at Civil War?
I don't remember.
I think he was, but like he was still doing his storyline to where like he was fired from the company and what fucking not. When we found out like nobody was going to come from J&A, and then when Navy said I'm flying by myself to come up there, and I said I want Luke to face me, and it was like the night before I left to go to North Carolina. I was thinking, I'm like, well, for one, what am I going to do with the international title? I mean, it's just going to stay at my place, collect dust, not be used, or I give it up to another company that would pretty much would need a title and to carry on the legacy of the championship. And that's what J&A's doing, and I'm proud of what they're doing. I'm proud Jake Frost was the first J&A international champion. I'm proud of him for it. Jet's the current champ right now, so I don't know what he's going to be doing with it, but Navy and them deserved another championship. They deserved it, and I think Navy earned it. They earned that title.
Yeah, I mean, that championship's been held by you, Dak, who else?
First champ was Jerry the Giant in DSW, and then the second champ was Rhett Ryder. Originally, before Samuel Clowney retired, he was supposed to beat Rhett Ryder, become international champion, and then I was supposed to take it off of him from there. Yeah, we didn't. I wanted to build the title back up because the first two champs were jokes. Like, it was bad. Had Jerry win it, then like he didn't show up a couple times, and we're like, we needed him for fucking storylines and whatnot, and we said, fuck it, we're gonna strip him. That's what we did. But originally, before that, Tyler Lee actually, we had undisclosed footage that Tyler Lee actually beat Jerry for the international championship. We just never uploaded it. We thought of a different storyline. So technically, Tyler is the first one to hold both championships in DSW, but it just didn't happen legitly.
It didn't happen legitimately on screen.
Because
I hope that's a championship that sticks around in backyard wrestling forever. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I'm sure the J&A guys were thanking Luke Hayes after he, comes down and obviously as a wrestler and as a worker earns your respect enough for you to, give that up. Because as much as you didn't know what you were going to do with it, you knew you had to do something honorable with it. And I think he came down and kind of set the tone for what that means, and that's why you gave it to him. So
yes, like he earned that 100%. I saw how he was, saw how he worked. I'm like, me and him was gonna put on some fucking magic, have a damn good match, and we did. It was great.
Yeah, and then Corona happened to ruin MEBW's steal the title plan. Gonna mug the DNA boys and take it home.
Yeah, that was going to happen.
Thanks a lot, Corona.
That was going to happen. Shit, I forgot.
International title would have been MEBW property.
Yeah, what? Erebus beat Jet?
Yep, Erebus is going to beat Jet Johnson for the international title.
Damn, that would have been wild. Ah, dude.
Yep.
Fuck this bullshit.
I hate Corona. be hitting people with that title
I
right
wonder-
now.
You don't do shit as a manager. You just stand there.
Hey, man.
Hey, he doesn't
Oh,
just
oh,
stand
yeah,
there.
yeah,
He
yeah.
also
Also
lays there.
Yeah, I also
Also
lay
takes-
there. Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, I got
Yankees in the
stunned.
truck, roll the film, please.
Hey, you.
He takes it. Oh, he
Damn,
got
Cody
him.
Powers, you got your fucking ass whipped, dude.
Yeah, you've had your book quite a bit. I seem to remember recently on MEBW, I've stomped your head into the ground. So I mean,
Yeah, remember the
Yeah,
handicap
I guess.
match?
Yeah. Yeah, and remember when neither of you could pick me up? You
You're
fucking
400 pounds.
weaklings.
What do you expect, man?
Hey,
Oh,
dude.
I'm not even
Okay.
3. Shut up.
I'll pick you up on the next episode of Onslaught and make it a fucking
fucking
John
right.
Maker moment.
Do it, John Maker moment. We all know Owen O-Rat couldn't do it. Bring the meme back.
Or neither is Xavier King.
Oh yeah, they spelled it.
Xavier.
God. Oh, speaking of like
Good old
misspelling names,
MEBW.
there was one episode of DSW, like I was coming out, we finally started doing ribbon effects, and Samuel Clowney was doing he was doing editing for us at the time, and he messed up my ribbon effect. Instead of saying Kent Havoc, it said Kent Hovic. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Havoc.
Gary, my favorite entrance of yours is you were entering in the TBW arena, and they played Sheamus.
Okay, y'all want to know legitly how this Sheamus shit started?
Yes.
Yeah, here's the backstory. About
Yes.
It, okay. This was one night after we were doing after UCW. This is what the shit we did before recording. It was me, Sam, Hunter, and Tyler. I think we was at Sam's house, but I want to go with Hunter's house more. I was sleeping. I'm dead tired. Like, I don't like people fucking me when I'm trying to sleep. And that's what they did. They started getting water, opening a bottle cap, putting water in the bottle cap and throwing the fucking bottle cap at me. They kept fucking with me, and I kept going.
At least you didn't get a ranch in your mouth.
hey, fuck off.
Yeah. or a spoon or other
They
things.
kept doing that, and I ended up getting up. I ended up punching somebody. Like, I think it was Hunter.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was Hunter. But Hunter, he's gotten a little bit bigger since then, but he's still small. So I ended up punching the shit out of him. He's like, "Ow, fuck!" And I'm like, "Leave me the fuck alone." And then they started playing Sheamus music every time I got mad doing that. So that's the story of Sheamus. That's how that started.
Oh man, and you hate that shit. Like I swear, even in the chat when people post that, you're just like, "Fuck off."
I just don't give a shit anymore. I'll just be like, "Okay, that's cool. That's old as shit. Can we like not?"
Play the video again.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Yeah, play the video again. But with that, ending off on that strong note, I am getting notifications from the editor. I must unfortunately cut this experience short. We're still going to talk after the show, but this will be the end of the show that you all hear. And we're going to keep going and talk to ourselves. But I hope you all enjoyed this episode of the Jersey Boys podcast experience. I have been Senor Bowers.
Senior
Junior
Delta.
Thunder.
This is Dude Buster. Can't have it.